Jesse Johnson, who was just doing commentary with me, and Nick Kline. Again, a straight race to 8. Okay. With Jesse out there playing, I'm joined by John Smith on commentary. John, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. John is, would you consider yourself a bar table specialist?
Yeah, I spend a lot more time on a bar table than, years back it was all on a big table, but today I spend a lot more time on a bar table, so I guess so.
I think you could safely say the best bar table 8-ball player in town.
I don't know. There's a lot of good players out there. I feel like I can, on a given day, I can hold my own, but a lot of good players in this town.
There is that. Have you watched either of these guys play?
Yeah, I've watched Nick play it's been a year or two since I've seen him play. I know his game has come a long ways, and looking forward to watching him play this match.
Does the 1 clear the 7 in the side?
I think the 1 goes by the 7.
Well, it would have.
Can you tell me a little bit about the other player?
Jesse Johnson, he comes out for all the stops. Good player. I think if you put a gun to my head and told me I had to pick a favorite, I might pick Jesse, but I wouldn't want to give you more than 1 game.
Yeah. And what is the race? Are they racing to an even?
Straight race to 8.
Okay. Looks like we have an early game.
Okay.
How many players do we have for the turnout today?
32 exactly.
That's great. Pool is booming in Arizona.
Yeah, it is. There's 2 Scotch events going on this weekend.
I've been in other states, and I don't know if any place compares to here as far as the amount of pool, the amount of players, the amount of tournaments. It's a really good place to be for a pool player.
Do you think that... See, from what I've seen, we definitely have more pool players. I think we have a greater quantity of players, but are the top players the quality? I mean, if you took like the top 5 players from Phoenix and put them against the top five players from Chicago, who do you think wins?
I think it's a good game, but I think the players in Phoenix, if you took the top 5, we lost, obviously one of our best players.
Right.
But if you were including him, I think Phoenix would be hard to beat, but, Chicago's got some great players also.
Yeah, we lost Mitch.
Yeah.
You battled with him a few times.
Yes. Class act.
Oh, what did he just do?
Yep, Cubo got away from him.
Does the 2 not go by the 8? I was kind of surprised he went with that.
Cross banking it, maybe?
Oof. Well, he likes to play 1 pocket, so a bank shouldn't bother him.
And maybe all he has.
How do you get on the 3 here?
You just tip down, super low, maybe a little touch of left. He just chose to go for the bank, and he almost made it.
Oh, and look at what he did.
It's a game of 9-ball for you. You never know when the good rolls and bad rolls are coming. It was a bad roll.
haven't seen your name in a tournament in a while.
No, I just moved away from the pool room a little bit and spending my time doing some other things in life, but still love the game, and I still play a few days a week.
You give a lot of lessons, don't you?
Yes, I've been teaching pretty regularly. Probably 6-7 days a week I got a lesson. Some days I got multiple lessons, so it's I enjoy giving back to the players.
Are all the lessons you give down here, or do you?
I travel. I go to people's houses. I go to other pool halls. Pretty much go wherever the person wants, as long as they really want to improve their game. I pretty much will travel.
Just gonna make the one. Oh, he's better off not making the one. But where did he shoot the 2 after the 1?
Maybe if he comes at the 8, he could play it cross side. Cross corner if he gets to the 8. I think the main thing is here, you just pocket the 1 and give yourself closer to the 2, and if you like the shot, you play it. If not, you have to duck.
Just like that. Nice shot.
Yeah, how good did he hit that? Very good shot. He's got a little angle here. It's going to send him toward the 8. Just a little bit.
Oh, no.
Tournament seems to be running smooth today.
Yeah.
I haven't been in to watch one of the tournaments, but you guys are doing a great job. Smooth, very, very. Everything's organized, and looks like things are going good.
That's all Chuck.
You can have all the players in the world, but you got to have people organizing tournaments and running leagues, and there is a lot of that in Arizona.
Yeah, there is. Are you trying to cut the 4 in, and if you make the 9?
He's moving awfully fast. He needs to slow down a little bit, in my opinion. I think he's playing the 9. He's a good player, and momentum and rhythm mean a lot in pool, but too many careless mistakes when you rush. I find when you slow down, it allows you to concentrate and focus and pay attention to detail. Make a few less careless mistakes.
Well, you play a more methodical game. I mean, you figure out exactly where you want to be. I mean, a lot of these guys, if I get into this
Area.
2-foot area, yeah. But I don't see that from you ever.
Well, I mean, I'm at a little different level than they are, but at the same time,
Sure.
It's all about playing the percentages and trying to limit our careless mistakes. These guys all play very good pool. At any given time, they can really play some strong pool, but at the same time, they just make too many careless mistakes. And being consistent is everybody's issue, all the way up to the best players in the world. Some of them are just more consistent than others. They make less careless mistakes.
Goes back to an interview we did with Ralph Souquet once. And I asked him, I said, well, Ralph, when you're playing under a shot clock, you play great. You win tournaments under a shot clock, but when you're not under a shot clock, you might take a minute and a half on a shot. And it's what you're saying. He said, if I'm playing under a shot clock and my opponent's playing under a shot clock, I'm going to make less mistakes than they do. But if we're not under a shot clock, I'm going to make no mistakes.
Yeah. I found out, like, when I was young, I played a very fast game of pool, and, it works to some extent, but I don't believe it works against the best players because, unless you are just the better player, the straighter shooter, sometimes you just have to play the percentages. I go home and I sleep okay if I know I played the right shot and I lost. They had to bank a ball. They had to, bust a pack up and get out. But if, you let them out when the balls are out in the open, it seems to bother me a little bit more.
Understandable.
I see too many of these games out here where they're shooting some balls where they make it, but they're not going to get shape, and they shoot it anyways. 2-1 score.
Yep.
Good to see Rick Armbrust. I haven't seen him. Great friend of mine.
And he's got to be an early favorite.
He's in the losers bracket, so he's got some traveling to do.
Yeah, I think Rick and Mike Hammond are the two highest rated players.
There's a nice controlled break. No chance of scratching. Gary made the corner ball. What do you think he's going to do here?
I'm not sure I like the 2-9, but I don't know what else he's got.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was going to say something about that shot, but I couldn't tell from here if he had that angle.
It's nice, creative shot.
Yeah. Keeps the low ball away from the 9 ball if he doesn't make the shot. If you play the combination and you miss it, you take that chance of leaving the 2-9 hanging by the pocket together. Playing it this way, at least you get the 9 away from the situation.
Right.
Do you play any of these tournaments, Mike?
Nope.
None of them?
I played in the season finale last season, just for an extra body.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't played a tournament in about 3 months, and I don't miss it.
No.
Stroked that ball in nice.
Yeah. He's definitely trying to catch a little bit of a rhythm.
That worked out all right.
Yeah. Makes the ball. The cue ball should go good for him.
It's twice he's missed a shot like that.
And he came up short on the 8 anyways. He
Yeah.
de-accelerated on his stroke. And this is interesting here. That 8 ball's not helping him. Or is it?
I think it might have. You hit the balls, you get a reward.
Left him some for a little bit of work here. Well, hits it with low outside English and overcuts the ball.
A lot of guys, and I say that because I'm one of them, have a real hard time with that back cut like that.
Yeah, well, it's a shot he probably knows he struggles with, and he didn't do the footwork. He didn't check the angle, walk over, check the angle, and, he just sort of took a guess and guessed wrong.
I know a lot of times you think you have to spin it in, and you certainly don't.
Yeah. Well, he was using the spin, I think, just to stay away from the scratch, the low English, but he could have got away with just low ball instead of low left. But for these players, I think getting used to pocketing balls with their tip outside of center so they could play shape and do other things. it's still something they're working on. Another soft break, came out really good. If he has a pocket for the 2 or not.
Yeah, I can't tell. Even if he does, he's got to get on the 3.
If he's got a pocket, he can hit it with low outside and draw the ball. Doesn't look, he's playing safe. Couple unforced errors there.
I don't know, that combo seemed like a flyer. It just didn't. I think a safety might have been a better shot.
I thought he was going to tuck it in behind the ball, but that's a big controversy in pool, is when to swing and when to play smart. Some people think that some players swing too much, and other people think people play safe too much. It's all what the outcome comes down, and if you did it right or wrong by the outcome.
Well, it's especially tough when your opponent plays what you think is the wrong shot, and they get out.
Yeah. Can't let what your opponents do phase you.
It's easier said than done.
Yeah,
especially at this level.
Yeah. I played Shane Van Boeing back in 2006, and that's something he mentioned to me was, I was worried too much about what he had done, and instead of taking care of my own business.
Do I dare ask how you did?
I lost Hill. I lost Hill to him. Went back, had to play Donnie Branson. I beat him Hill to get back to Shane, and he barbecued me. This was right before he turned professional. Really nice guy. Great player, really nice guy.
Yeah. He put on a show out at Turning Stone.
He's been so consistent his whole career. It's just people don't understand how hard it is to win one tournament, win most of them.
Yeah.
A lot of good players out there. He does.
Nice shot there.
Yes, Jesse. It was good speed control. I think with age, Nick is going to slow down, and his game is going to get nothing but better. That was my issue when I was young, was I moved really fast, and when it works, but fine line of moving too fast and making careless mistakes and moving too slow and not believing in yourself, so not relying on your ability when you move too slow. So it's a fine line. You gotta find that tempo and rhythm for your own game.
And I know that a lot of people just have that pace. A lot of people just naturally shoot fast.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, and I'm not saying just Nick, but do you think that at some level, when a younger player plays that pace, is it a confidence issue? Are they not comfortable?
I think they're just overconfident in themselves sometimes. Some of it is they just don't understand and don't see some of their other options that they have out there on the table. So they're doing what they know. But I think they're just aggressive. The kids of today are fearless. They believe in themselves, which is a good thing. But sometimes it can also, you're shooting low percentage shots. It doesn't matter who you are. They're low percentage, you're going to miss your share of them. If there's other options out there. To make a ball, you got a small pocket. To play safe, sometimes you got, a foot or two on the table to where you can leave them in a very bad spot or possibly hook them.
Well, and then you've got the Mitch Ellermans and the Bobby Emmons of the world,
right.
who, they can get up there in one stroke.
Well, I'll tell you what, those two guys right there have got talent that you don't see very often. A lot of eye-hand coordination, extraordinary players. They run enough racks to where they feel they can outrun anything that their opponent does, and most of the time they can't.
Right.
I think Bobby has, you believe it or not, sometimes obviously he's still running around the table at a very fast pace, but I think Bobby slowed his game down from 5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Certain situations, as he's getting older, he's starting to play the percentages and starting to look at other options. Oh no, don't do that to the kid. I think it happens to everybody. I think it even happens to Mitch to some extent. As he gets older, he's going to start playing a little wiser instead of being the gunslinger. And they're going to be even tougher to beat then.
He came a little far there.
Yep, he's going to have to run into the 7 and hope. And he did not gonna like it.
Ooh.
It's a makeable ball.
Yeah?
How good did he hit
I
that?
should have never questioned you.
Yeah, what a great shot. Cue ball's gonna lead to perfect shape here. Oh no. Oh no.
What was he trying to do there?
Well, he's cutting the ball. He's got to move the cue ball a long ways, but he's cutting the ball, so he's not running into anything, and that cue ball is going to take off. It's not like you're hitting the ball full. You're cutting the ball, and that cue ball is going to run. He just stroked the ball a little too firm. It's another thing. If he's like you were talking earlier, he's just playing a general area instead of doing the footwork, picking a spot. If you pick a spot and you're off by 6 inches, you're still golden. If you pick an area and you're off by 6 inches, you're hooked. You got a tough shot.
Yeah.
Doing the footwork is, if you watch these players, some of them do it, some of them only do it on certain shots. But if the best players in the world are out there doing it, I think these guys should be doing it too.
Yeah, there's a reason why they're...
Right, and they play 12 hours a day every day for their whole life, and these guys don't. Dry break?
Yeah.
What's the score, 4-2?
4-2.
Here's an opening for Nick. Let's see how he does.
Well, if Rick was on the one-loss side, he's out.
Good match, Mike McGovern. Good match.
Well, that was definitely one-loss side because we watched Mike lose over here, Hill.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Mike McGovern is going to catch a little gear now. He stayed out late last night and paid for it this morning, but I think he's going to catch a gear now and be a tough one to beat.
You didn't play Southwest Regional this year?
No. I spend a lot of time in the outdoors, fishing, camping, hiking, and sometimes I'd rather do that.
Got a little favorable bump there.
Yeah, he's playing loose. He's going to have to come with something here. how he struck that ball.
Yeah. It's all open now.
Another one. Very nice.
Overran it a little bit, but he can go to the rail and back.
Four to three. We got a game, folks. So I'm sure you've been out to the new pool hall, Scott Frost's new room.
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. Haven't played there, but like I say, I'm just not playing right now.
Yeah, I've heard incredible pool room. Nothing but good things about the place and how it's being run.
It's a beautiful room. I mean, I've seen players from east side, west side, you name it.
I look forward to getting out there. I haven't been there yet, but I look forward to it. The pool rooms that we have here have really, they've all, got new diamond tables, and they've done a lot for the players. When I first moved here, Valley tables and Brunswick Gold Crowns, which play good, but everybody has spent a lot of money and made their pool rooms that much nicer.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago we were at Main Street. They got diamonds throughout the room.
What a nice room. Thor has done wonders with that room. When I first came here, all valleys, Gandy, big tables. Now he's got just a beautiful room.
Yeah, the pool players are spoiled here.
They are. They don't realize it until they travel somewhere else. They won't realize it. It's a second miscue. This guy's stroke has got a little bit of a swoop in it, and it's causing him to miscue.
Is it happening when he's doing something in particular?
Yeah, he's drawing the ball both times. He was going to draw the ball, and it's just his backhand is going up and down, which is causing his tip to be inconsistent.
He doesn't have to like that.
Yeah, I think the six is far enough off the rail that he could draw the ball back and get off the scratch.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Now he's got work again. What he's going to do here, he's going to have to do something. Bull shooters, Michael Bates, that room is really come a long ways. He's spending a lot of money, and like you said, people here are spoiled. There's a lot of different pool rooms. There's a lot of different venues and scotch doubles and team tournaments. I mean, it's an amazing place for the pool players. Just amazing.
I've never seen a place that was so into scotch as they are here.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, it's pool in general, but I mean, the community is like, I mean, everybody around here knows each other and they're friendly with each other, and I guess when you get a scotch doubles tournament, it's that many more players. Instead of a singles tournament, you get a scotch tournament, and there's always every night of the week, 7 nights a week.
Oh yeah.
Like somewhere to go, something to do. It's mostly for the lower level players, which it should be. But it's really a great place for the pool players. I get some of my friends from Chicago have come out here, and a couple of them live here now. A couple of them just visited, but we are spoiled.
Well, I was just talking to a buddy of mine that played in this tournament, and he was telling me his week, and it's like, this night I have league, this night I have league, I play a tournament that night. He plays pool basically 7 days a week.
Right, absolutely. I mean, there's multiple different establishments to go to every night of the week. It's not just one place to go on. I mean, you can pick a different place, a different night, 6, 7 nights a week. This bar alone has a tournament, I believe, 6 nights a week.
Oh.
Some nights they have a tournament on both sides, the big table and the bar table. So we got a 4-4 match here. a careless mistake there by Nick. Let's see what happens. Looks like we might have an early game. Maybe not. We're going to have an early game, I believe.
That's what it looks like. When were you in Chicago last?
It's been about 2, maybe 3 years since I've been back. I'm going to definitely go back this spring. Look at this.
No.
I've got some good friends that I miss hanging out with. Well, Nick got at least he's still at the table and has a chance, but he's going to swing the cue ball around 2 rails. Play shape for the 7 in the side, maybe 7 in the same corner. He's going to be playing the 6 in.
Yeah, boy, I don't like that shit.
Well, if you miss it, the one thing is there, maybe he should be better off just overcut it on purpose. But as long as if you do miss it, you overcut it and don't hit it real hard, you're okay. He undercut the ball. But people, that's something that they can learn on a shot like that is, a lot of people, we don't want to miss the whole ball, so we don't cut it enough. But if you do overcut the ball slightly, the ball ends up on the back rail and you don't sell out. But when we undercut the ball, we sell out every time.
Oh, yeah.
And when I learned that, it allowed me to cut the ball more, and I just started making them all. And the ones that I didn't make, I overcut them. And there's times I'll just choose to overcut that ball because I don't want to hang it. I don't want, if I'm gonna be beaten in this game, they're gonna bank it. They're gonna earn the game. I'm not gonna sell out by shooting a fairly low percentage shot. A lot of people shoot at that ball. Well, I guess they got a hook out of it. Look at this. Put him on the back row.
I mean, it's makeable, but still.
Yeah, the cue ball's going to travel. There's no doubt. Unless he tries to slow roll it, which I would not advise. He's going to have to play 2 rails back toward the 7.
He's on 7. I got my. I didn't. Sorry. Sorry for the confusion, Dave. You're on 5.
It's going to cost him this time.
Yeah, that was sloppy.
Yeah, I agree. Nick doesn't look comfortable out there right now. I haven't got to watch him play a lot, but I think he's happy to be 4-4 with the way things have gone so far. A couple miscues from this fella.
Sorry, you were confused.
It's definitely a war back and forth. Got a good match.
And Nick's been playing the tour long enough that being on the streaming table shouldn't bother him.
Yeah, no, his composure seems fine. His composure's fine. He's just got, oh boy. His composure is fine. He's just missing a few more balls than I'm sure he would like. I don't think pressure really bothers Nick a whole lot. I haven't talked to him about it, but I don't, he plays enough pool and he's been in the spotlight enough that I'm sure he still gets fired up, but I don't think it affects him too much.
All right, so while we're watching Jesse Rack, if I'm a player out there watching the stream and I'm interested in getting lessons, how do I go about doing that?
The monthly newspaper that you put out, you've been kind enough to put my name in there and my phone number for instructions. If you allow me, I'll put my number out there now.
Sure.
Okay, my number is 480-737-1185. And if you care to improve your game, it's something I'm good at, something I enjoy to do, and give me a call and we'll see what we can do about getting your game where you want it.
I know I hear a lot of players, there's a big difference when you hear a player say, I'm getting lessons, and I'm getting lessons from John Smith.
Yeah, everybody teaches different. I try to keep it fun. I try to fill them up with tons of good information, and it's up to them to practice what they learned during the lesson, and the more time that they can put in, the faster they get better, the more they the more they listen and buy into what I'm teaching them. I've had some really good successful players, improving their games before big tournaments, just improving their game overall. I've been doing this for, 30 years, so I should be getting good at it by now. So we got a good race, 5-4. What's he going to do here? Not much of an offensive shot. I guess there's always an offensive shot in 9-ball, but
he's going to get a reward.
Yeah, I heard a commentary. I don't know if it's Billy and Cardona or somebody like that once said there is a time and a place where smashing the pack in the game of 9-ball is actually the right shot.
Wow.
There is no real good safe. There is an occasion where that is the right shot. I don't like doing it, but I can't say that there's been times when I haven't chose to do it because I just didn't feel safe. Didn't feel good about the safety, and there was no offensive shot. And if the rules are going to allow the slot, then you got to take advantage of it.
This is an ugly rack. That was a nice shot.
Yeah, I don't know. What's he gonna do now? See here, there's not much reward, I don't believe.
Does the 3 go off the 5?
No, the 5's too far past the pocket. Pretty sure the 5 is too far past the pocket. You can always play the bank cross side from the 3 to the 4, but again, you better hope you don't get behind the 8. Not a lot of reward to making this 2. I suppose he could cut it in and go at the 3. I didn't see it, but that is an option.
I'd be worried about scratch.
Yeah, absolutely. You think that's what he tried to do?
Well, I don't think he tried that, but I think he was aiming at the 3 instead of the 8.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he was actually trying to run into the 3, which was a chance. Cross corner back, cross side.
I'm thinking cross side.
Hit it good.
Yeah. Big target. But I liked the speed he hit it with.
Yeah, absolutely a great shot. As long as he can hit this ball, as long as he hits this ball thin, it should be okay to go 2 rails, approximately 3 rails.
I see a lot of guys hit this ball with inside. And
Yeah,
they go
well-
2 rails,
Yeah.
3 rails. Long rail, short rail, long rail. I have such a hard time with that shot. Got a nice bump there.
Yes, he did. It's funny with pool players. I've talked to a lot of people about this, but we bump a ball and we don't get hooked. We think we deserve that, But we bump a ball and we get hooked. Oh boy,
yeah.
we didn't deserve that. We got a bad roll. You run into something you didn't expect to run into, you almost deserve to be hooked.
Right.
That's just how it is. And it's funny as pool players, we don't see it that way.
Was a nice out.
Yes, sir. 2-game lead if he pockets the 9. 6-4 game. Well, this is a big game here. If Nick can find a way to win this game, this is still a very tight match. If it happens to go the other way, then it's going to be a tough comeback.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's got to win this game.
Yes. But 9-ball's a funny thing. I've seen comebacks in more than 3-4 games many times. But this is a game Nick really, really needs. This fellow seems to be breaking the balls quite a bit firmer than what Nick was. Nick was having success breaking them soft.
Yeah.
He had a couple, 2-3 racks where he did well. Corner ball hung up.
Yeah, and the one was heading for the side and didn't go.
Yeah. It's all about power. If he'd have hit that just a little softer or a little firmer, that 4-ball wouldn't be sitting there. Let's go, Nick. Let's see some pull, buddy.
What's he going to do with that 2-5?
I think 2 ball goes by the 5. I do.
Oh, does it? Okay.
I believe so. It's tough to tell on our screen and from our position. It's tough to tell, but I think Nick right now, he's just trying to, get rolling. He's not worrying about if he can see the 2, he'd play the combination or the carom or the bank. He just needs to get a game and get rolling. Oh, Lord, that's 3. I'm telling you.
Line it up with draw and putting a big stroke on it.
Yeah, it's the same thing he's done 3 times now. I don't know what kind of tip he has or what kind of, if that's an issue, if his tip is glazed over and gotten hard on him, but I believe I've been watching his backhand, and it's not straight back, straight through. It's an up-down motion, and that's going to cause his tip to be inconsistent. And where it's striking the cue ball.
Yeah, I've seen him over there working on the tip after each one.
Yeah. Lots of different tips on the market, lots of different shafts. It's pools really come, with the new age of everything else. There's lots of different choices out there for everybody. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. Obviously the 2 does not go by the 5, and Nick was trying to run into the 2 and clear himself a shot for it. I always had a little issue with pool early in the day. I don't know. I was always a night person my entire life. Stay out late, close down the pool halls, and gamble after the pool hall closed. But 10 o'clock in the morning and them noon matches, oh boy, they were rough for me. I don't know. I can't understand it. I mean, I felt good a lot of times, and I've done well too. But it seems like performing well in a match earlier in the day was tough for me. Even if I warmed up, I don't know. If your body just isn't got the blood flowing or what.
Well, and when you say staying up till the room closes and then gambling afterwards, I mean, you and I aren't besties or anything, but I've never seen you drink.
Yeah, it's not something. I've never been a big drinker. I enjoy it. I do it on occasion. But the penalties of getting caught anymore are just horrendous. Drinking and driving, it's not a good thing. And as much time as I spend in a bar and in a pool hall, it's amazing that I don't do it very often, but I do it in moderation.
I've always thought playing pool, any pool player loves having an excuse to miss, and that's what alcohol is.
Well, it can be. I've got a lot of friends that, it helps a lot of people, and I won't say that he does a nice stroke there. What a stroke. That was a great stroke. I won't say that I don't enjoy do a shot or something before a match just to calm me down, but I've got a lot of friends out there. They're great pool players. But at the end of the night, they don't win the tournament, and their bear tab is quite a bit. It's just what they make in the tournament,
Right.
And it's tough, I guess. But as long as you don't harm nobody and you're enjoying yourself, take yourself a cab or a Uber home.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. As long as you don't hurt yourself or anybody else, that's.
Well, and you talk about, they don't win the tournament, they make enough money to cover their tab. I mean, there's players out there that are happy with that.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I'm sure they're happy with it to some extent, sure, but some people, as we know, they don't drink because they want to. They drink because they have to after 10 or 20 years of this stuff. They're not doing it because they want to. It's a need.
Yeah.
My father had a drinking problem when I was young. I got to see the ugliness of it.
Yeah, you and me both. And personally, I think when you've got family like that was in that position, it makes it a lot easier for you to not be.
Absolutely, sure. All right, it's a 7-4 race. I apologize. Can you throw his name at me again?
Jesse Johnson.
Jesse Johnson. I'm going to have to apologize again, Jesse. So we're hooked from the 2 ball. Is he going to kick at it or is he going to push?
Well, if you're pushing, where are you pushing to?
Well, just one thing would be giving him distance, pushing him up table by the 3 ball, where he can see the ball, but he has nothing but a bank, and the safeties aren't easy because of the distance. Early in a game like this, kicking is always an option because if you're guaranteed to hit it, there's a lot of chances of getting safe out there. And in 9-ball, slop counts. If you kick it in any pocket, or the odds change, the percentages change because of the game of 9-ball.
When you're pushing there, are you pushing to someplace where you want him to give it back, or you want him to take a flyer at it?
Well, I'd rather him take a flyer here, but what Nick should do is back cut the deuce into the 8 and put him long again and leave the 2 up on the back rail with the 8. Just hit it thin and leave him long, just to roll it. Yeah, it would have been a good shot if he hit it a little firmer and put it up by the 6, but he's in trouble.
Yeah, that might be his last shot.
It's a long ways to thin that ball backwards. I'm not saying it's an easy shot, and if you don't practice it, it's not a shot for you to shoot, right now for sure. But thinning that deuce back into the 8 was a pretty safe shot if you a shot you're familiar with and you practice it.
What's that 3-9 look like?
9. He's shooting it.
Oh, he's
He's
got
shooting.
to now.
Yeah. He likes it, I believe.
Oh,
All right, come on, Nick. Let's make a fight of this.
got a reprieve.
Yeah.
Nick's mom is sitting up there on the rail watching. She comes out and sweats every one of his tournaments. I mean, for the longest time she had to because he was underage.
Sure. That's another thing. I mean, just amazing pool community, not only for the adults, but the kids. What a good foundation for the future. Nick is one of the ones that grew up, not having a driver's license or not being able to get to Phoenix, so he had to rely on his parents, and they've definitely done a lot for Nick.
Oh, yeah. They made it possible for him to go to China. Why did he stroke that ball so hard?
I'm not sure, but he's not going to like it. Yeah, absolutely. Pool's a great game to get kids away from other bad things in life, and it's just, to me, it's the best indoor game in the world. This guy just came with an amazing shot. I mean,
It's not gonna
jacked
get any
up.
reward.
Banks, it got unlucky. He did, because the cue ball was coming back. He's going to play safe. Then the 8 into the
He's
9.
not trying the 9?
No. Oh, yes, he did. Oh, cue ball. There, it's over.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Interesting match.
Unbelievable. Good play, both players.